Oh. Oh man, that is some strong wind. Yep, welcome back to another weekly racing breakdown. And as you can see, it started off with a little bit of a twister. So INDYCAR this weekend had a doubleheader out in Iowa Speedway, and Friday track activities obviously had to be canceled here. And that's a pretty big cyclone. Why are they racing in the Midwest? And NASCAR's going there in a few weeks. It'll be fun. But anyway, all the activities got moved to Saturday for qualifying. So they had their normal two-lap qualifying. The first lap set the field for the first race, and their second lap of qualifying set the field for the second race. An interesting way of doing it. Not how I would have set it up, but you know what? We'll let INDYCAR do what they do. Joseph Newgarden started on the pole this week, but immediately on lap one, before they even took the green flag entirely, Cole Herta spun in the back of the field. Fortunately, he didn't collect anybody, continued on, but at least make it to the start finish line, Cole. Come on, man. And that was pretty much the story for the entire day. Iowa Speedway is only 7/8 of a mile. It's very flat, only 12 to 14 degrees of banking in the corners, and INDYCAR is super fast here. This usually makes for great stock car racing, but INDYCAR, with their high downforce, they can cook around this place even though it's not a really big speedway. But there's some more spins and some hard hits throughout the day. Pato O'Ward, the Indy 500 champion from this year, adds another oval victory as it holds off Newgarden to win in his 100th start. Congratulations, Pato, on that one. The centennial races for drivers seem to bring a little extra luck for them. There's been quite a few drivers, especially in NASCAR, who seem to win on their 100th races. I don't remember any on the top of my head, but it does happen every so often. So into Sunday, we got another 275 lapper. This time, Alex Palou sat on pole, and just like Saturday, rinse and repeat. Lap one, there's a caution, and right under the camera in turn 3. A couple guys hit the wall up there, and again sets the stage for the entire rest of this race. Even more crashes throughout the day. Most of them single cars, although they do hit pretty hard. But unfortunately, everybody's okay. But it sets up for an absolutely wild finish with only a couple laps to go. And it's crazy enough again. Pato O'Ward, second straight day. He started 5th with only a few laps to go, but a couple lucky pit calls at the end let him sweep past his teammate Scott Dixon and sweep the weekend for INDYCAR, already padding his extremely successful year. And I believe he's a championship points leader at this point already, so he's looking to be the big favorite at the end of the season. But away from the windy hills of Iowa, or not even hills, it's very flat there. We're headed all the way to the West Coast this weekend at Sonoma Raceway. We got 3 races this weekend, and we're going to start on Saturday with the ARCA Menard Series. William Sawalich has it on pole, and pretty much runs green for the entire race until with about 13 to go. We had Robbie Keneally. He had a really hard wreck with Rod Nealand, and it absolutely destroyed both of these cars. This one actually looked like it looked like the entire body got completely offset from the car, but realistically it's just the wheel missing. Still is pretty significant boo-boo, but you know, what are you gonna do? These ARCA cars, man, they wreck like nothing I've ever seen before. There's plenty of guys who still get hurt in these things. They may be old cup cars, but they kind of took all the good stuff out of them to make them cheap, quote unquote. It's gonna be fun racing those when NASCAR 25 hits later this year. But after all that was cleaned up, we had a late race caution, which ARCA has a weird rule where they don't do the green-white checker that's typical of NASCAR. They will do a just one-lap shootout, and that's exactly what happened today. Sawalich was on point, but he got shipped off the track in turn 2, and Christian Eckes and Alden Day swept on past through and started knocking the crap out of each other to take the win. But that allowed Sawalich to gather back up and track them down, and going into turn 11 and coming out, they were 3 wide coming to the finish line. With Sawalich running the wall, there's no other word to describe that, and steals the win back from Eckes and Day, who finishes in 3rd. Later on that day, the Xfinity Series. SVG, but I'm getting tired of saying this, he sat on the pole for both Xfinity and Cup this week, and go figure. And to his outside, his rival from a week ago, Connor Zilisch, was looking for a bit of redemption today. And it's these two the entire day. It kind of spoiled the race a little bit. These two are aces on road courses. Obviously, SVG comes from the supercar world in Australia. But Connor Zilisch is actually I believe he's a Trans Am driver. Kid's only 18, but he's already done like several endurance races at Daytona. I don't know why they let him do that, but this kid's a prodigy unlike nothing else. And he's probably one of the few drivers who could actually upset SVG on a road course. But those two battle out for stage one, and pit strategy late lets Sam Mayer in the 41 car take stage one. And in stage two, same song and dance, SVG, Zilisch swapping the lead back and forth. And strategy again at the end, so you see those two pit, and Brandon Jones wins stage two. And at the stage number 3, Connor Zilisch actually takes the lead early, and SVG loses second place. But it doesn't last too long. SVG gets around him and stays in Connor's tire tracks the entire way. And coming down with 1 to go, SVG is on his bumper, and they are actually starting to beat and bang once again, just like at Chicago last week. But Connor puts a hard block and outbrakes SVG in turn 11, and finally steals one from SVG and ends Kiwi supremacy for now. Let the 88 burn it down. Let's move on to the Cup Series race on Sunday, where the 88 car is on pole, SVG, and it's just a Shane Van Gisbergen show the entire day. This sometimes happens at road courses, especially at Sonoma, where there's kind of a stinker up front and just dominates the entire race. Jeff Gordon was known for that way back when. In the early 2020s, it seemed like it was Chase Elliott leading every single lap. And today it was SVG. You just can't stop this guy. He pretty much led point to point, except for when he went into the pits. At the end of stage 1 with 3 to go, he does pit and ends up handing that stage 1 win to Ross Chastain. Stage 2 starts, and he's just gone. Winding down to 3 to go, he pits again. Kyle Larson takes the lead and is looking to be on track to win stage 2, but SVG had built up such a big lead throughout the entire stage. He left pit road and caught and passed Larson on the final lap and stole stage 2 away from him. Like, nobody was expecting that to happen, and even the announcers were like, wait, what the heck? We already said Larson won the stage. But no, if anybody ever had doubts about SVG belonging in the Cup Series, it's probably still debatable. His oval track expertise is still leaving a bit to be desired, but the guy just keeps stacking up stage points left and right now. And I think this is his second or third stage win of the year. I'll have to double check my numbers on that one. But we'll see at the end of this just how bad it's gotten. But in stage 3, SVG finally loses the lead to Michael McDowell, just for a little bit of more pit strategy. But with 20 to go, SVG wasn't going to let that happen. Takes the lead back and seems to be cruising off to another easy victory. But of course, we have another driver in the field by the name of Cody Ware, who just cannot catch a break. Loses the wheel while the broadcasters were talking about his accident last week at Chicago. Just completely unfortunate for this kid. He's definitely been through a lot. Some people still kind of really don't like him for some of the things that happened off track. And at this point, I'd say just let bygones be bygones. We don't need to let this kid be hurt too much more. But SVG takes 0 prisoners, and he leads the rest of the way for his 3rd win of the year already. And coincidentally, I'm sure, he is now seated 3rd in the playoffs at the moment. That's absolutely wild. If you've watched some of the other podcasts that NASCAR does, especially in Door Bumper Clear, there was a lot of talk during the off season about, with SVG running full time this year, he could easily win every road course race, and all of a sudden he's a threat for the championship, and that's now becoming a reality. But so we've got 6 races left till the regular season ends at Daytona. We have another road course race in a couple of weeks. I think sometime in mid-August at Watkins Glen. He almost won that race last year. He's definitely a threat to win this year. And he could probably even get some more points going on at Daytona. He could pad himself incredibly well for the playoffs. And while he's not a lock, if he gets to the round of 8, that's the Charlotte Roval, another road course. And if he wins that, it's a Final Four appearance for SVG. I'm just saying, it could happen. We've seen crazier things before. Maybe a rookie wins the championship for the first time ever. It could happen. But aside from that, there was a little bit of drama just spice up the end of the race. Actually, in the middle of the race, I believe it was at the end of stage 2 during pit stops. Ty Gibbs continues to be a menace on pit road. I don't know what to do with this kid. But his pit stall was right in front of Brad Keselowski's, and they were pitting together at the same time. And Ty Gibbs just goes right through the 6 teams pit stall. He actually hits the tire in the hand of one of Keselowski's crew members. How this guy managed to hold a tire, I don't know. That would have taken anybody else's hands off. And there was a little bit of a scuffle afterwards, and they were understandably not happy, and even more understandably unhappy when NASCAR said they saw nothing wrong with what happened. Don't let you be the judge of that. And then for the bracket challenge, it wasn't too spicy today with the round of 8, except in the final turn of the last lap, Ty Dillon, the Cinderella story of the bracket challenge, dumps Alex Bowman and moves on to the round of 4. And everyone's having a good laugh about this one. It wasn't as bad as last week's. But yeah, that's it from Iowa and Sonoma. Next week, INDYCAR is on the streets of Toronto, Canada, and NASCAR is returning to the Monster Mile Dover Motor Speedway up in Delaware. That's a fun race usually. There's almost always some kind of cars, so it'll be exciting to watch. But until then, duck and cover, watch out for flying cows, and catch y'all next week. Have a good one.